On the doctor's note, we've passed the winter solstice, so days are finally getting longer. But here in Western Washington, those daylight hours are limited in the colder months.
Yeah, lots of gray. With those shorter days, people are turning on the lights indoors, and that screen time also plays a role. A new study from Harvard shows light in the nighttime can increase your risk of heart attack, stroke, and other cardiovascular problems by up to 50%.
We are joined by New York Times bestselling author and Dr. John Puma. He's here to share some simple habits to help reset your body. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here, Tyra. Thanks.
Before we get into some tips, can you just talk to us about the study? Why does light at night increase the risk of heart attack or stroke?
The study was published in JAMA in October. They followed for 9.5 years 89,000 people who wore light sensors on their wrists for about a week. And they tracked when their most heart attacks and fewest heart attacks, most heart failure, least heart failure, most AFib, least AFib, most stroke, and least stroke were. And what they found was that light at night between the hours of 12:30 in the morning and 6 in the morning, that's artificial light, disrupted the circadian rhythm in the brain so that the clock is off and the heart didn't get a chance to repair itself. And people who had the most light between those nighttime hours had 50% more heart attacks, just like Steve said, 50% more strokes, 35% more AFib, and 35% more heart failure.
That's concerning. You call the morning sunlight free medicine. Explain just how 10 minutes in the morning can reset your body clock.
Yes. So as I said, the heart didn't really get a chance to repair itself at night. And that's why the artificial light caused this disruption, because the heart, like the brain, has a master clock that every organ runs on. And in the morning, if we get 10 or 15 minutes of morning sunlight, just within 90 minutes of waking, we do reset our own brain clock and the other clocks in the body. This is a theory of aging that is the most common now, that every organ has a clock. And so the 15 minutes in the morning tells the master clock in the brain to reset all the other clocks and to get a big cortisol rise in the morning. It helps your coffee work better and makes melatonin at night. And melatonin, as you know, is the hormone that allows you to go to sleep.
With winter days being shorter, what practical strategies can people use to get enough natural light, especially here in Washington where, you know, the sun isn't out all the time?
No. And I'm in California, and today it's cloudy and it's still 9 o'clock in the morning. And barely sunny. So yes, that's a real concern. It's important to know that even on cloudy days, the outdoor light is up to 25 times brighter than indoor light. It doesn't feel that way because we have so many white spectrum and blue spectrum artificial lights, but the ambient light outside from the sun is 25 times stronger than almost anything indoors. So even light from a balcony, light from an apartment window, light through a screen, all of that light counts to get your 10 or 15 minutes in early, reset your brain's clock, allow you to get that big cortisol bump in the morning to help your coffee work better, and make melatonin at night so you can begin to wind down when the evening comes.
John, I'm sitting here thinking, are there certain types of nighttime lights that are most harmful?
There are, and almost anything that's synthetic and bright, and that's in the white and blue spectrum. You know, when you look at a sunset in the evening, you have red and amber waves, you know, that beautiful sunset color spectrum. Those are actually more relaxing for your brain. They tell your brain, we're going to be going to sleep in a few hours, and your brain begins to prepare for sleep. The white light and blue light wavelengths that are sharp that you see on monitors everywhere. I was just in Times Square a couple of weeks ago in New York City, and the whole place is lit up like it's daytime 24 hours a day. And that's really harmful to watch between 12:30 in the morning and 6 in the morning. As this study that's so impressive, 9.5 years, 80,000 people, 89,000 people, and a dramatic increase. This is irrespective of smoking, irrespective of diet, and irrespective of exercise. It's an independent risk factor for heart disease.
Many of us here start our mornings around 2 a.m. What suggestions do you have for people who work odd hours? How can we all stay healthy and use sunlight to our advantage?
You know, Tyra, I've done that too. As a doctor, I had many all-nighters and shifts that started early in the morning taking care of people in the hospital. And that's tough because, you know, night shift work has been labeled a carcinogen by the World Health Organization. So that's a really difficult sphere. What you can do is begin to have a normal pattern on days that you're not working at 2 in the morning. And the sun does come up at 6 or 7, wherever you happen to be, get out and get your 10 or 15 minutes because your body will adjust, your brain clock will adjust to the day to try to sync it to natural rhythms.
Okay, we just got to get outside on our weekends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get that sunlight.
Yeah.
And after work.
Yes.
Yes.
That helps too.
And after work, dusk counts.
Yes.
Look
Yes.
at the horizon at dusk. It's beautiful. And it tells your brain to relax and to begin to repair itself when you're going to go to sleep, particularly during deep sleep, which is when the brain cleans itself. Most people don't know this because it was only discovered 10 years ago. But the brain actually has a clean and rinse cycle for the first 2 cycles of sleep. And that's called deep sleep. And the brain wash cycle is called the glymphatic fluid and glymphatic cycle. And your brain shrinks a little bit. It washes away the proteins that, like tau, that are associated with Alzheimer's and can actually repair itself. But unless you get that deep sleep at the beginning of sleep and the right type of melatonin boost, you don't get that. You get fragmented deep sleep, and that can lead to worse cognitive performance, including Alzheimer's and dementia.
Fascinating. Where can we find your book, doctor?
It's not quite out yet, but it will be on Indoor. It's on IndoorEpidemic.com. It's actually, people do have priority access on IndoorEpidemic.com. And Amazon just put it up for listing. It'll be out in March.
Sweet.
Awesome. Congratulations. And thank you so much for joining us today with all of those tips.
My pleasure. It's great to be with you, Tyra.
You too.
And Steve.
Thank you.